Hello, how are you doing? Good afternoon, and welcome to my Monday evening live, all about what they don't teach you about how to accelerate your personal development. I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good weekend, you had a good week. I hope Monday's kicked off for you well. I'm coming from you today in new apartment, finally moved. It's fantastic to have our own space. It's a bit echoey because it's taken a little bit of time to decorate and get the furniture in and all that type of stuff, but it's good to be here. So yeah, if you're watching on the live, say hi, let me know where you're from, and if you have stopped and you're watching this on the replay and you're curious about what aren't they telling me about personal development, then say hi. Thanks for dropping by, and again, let me know where you're from. So straight off the bat, if there is anybody watching this now or while you're watching on the replay and you are involved in some self-learning personal development, what I mean by that is that you're not working with a coach or a therapist, you are self-learning through a book or a course or some other information that you've gathered, just give me a 1 in the comment below. So I've got an idea on the numbers here of people that are doing this. I expect that number's going to be pretty big because there has been a massive upturn in the amount of people doing a little bit of self-discovery at the moment with all the flux and uncertainty and chaos and madness outside. People are naturally drawn to see how they can improve themselves, for survival, to thrive, to flourish, and to make the most of what's happening, but also just to stay calm and grounded. So give me a 1 in the comments below if you are engaged in some self-learning personal development. Because I hope that this message will really, really resonate with you. So the reason that I want to talk about this particular subject is I have noticed recently, and I'd be interested to know if you've realized this as well, or if you noticed this, that the whole personal development thing is starting to receive a bit of backlash, a bit of negativity. And I think that's probably because of the volumes of people that have come into it and the amount of people that have pivoted into the role of a coach or a therapist or a mentor. And particularly on LinkedIn, there seems to be a real, people trolling people that are just trying to do good work and they're trying to help people. And it's kind of bothered me a little bit. But then I started to notice it on some calls that I've been doing with clients, some enrollment calls that I've had, and also with clients as well, some of the feedback. So I'm going to just check my phone here to see who's jumped on board. Some clients as well that have spoken about their own journey doing kind of self-learning personal development and how they really struggled to get the results that they've want. And then obviously it's something that I thought about, and for me the same is true. I started my personal journey, my personal development journey many years ago. And I'll come on to that a little bit later, but the beginning of that journey was fantastic. And then things went south pretty quickly, and I was getting a disproportionate amount of results, negatively so, compared to the effort I was putting in. And there's a small, very obvious insight that I think we all know, but we sometimes forget as we rush forward into wanting to transform our lives through this information, that I think could really help. And that's what they rarely tell you in terms of the things that you need to do, or one specific thing that you need to do if you're going to go on a personal development journey. So if that's you and you're looking for transformation right now in your life, and you're working on your own with a book, with a particular thought leader, or some videos or some online course, then you're not getting the results you want, then stick around, because I think you're going to find this really, really useful. So I used 2 analogies in the setup for today, and one of them was around you wouldn't build a house on wet sand. Of course you wouldn't, no matter how well designed the house was, no matter how well you built it. Then things are going to quickly turn south on you, okay? And nor would you try and put together a complicated piece of Ikea furniture. I use Ikea because I'm in the Ikea motherland. In a bad mood, on a spiral staircase in bad light. It just wouldn't happen, right? Because, you're destined to failure. But, curiously enough, that's how a lot of people approach personal development, particularly when they try and self-learn it on their own. They don't bring the right foundations to what they're doing. So instead of coming at it, and I use the distinction between coming at personal development, frantically looking for a magic bullet of information that's going to solve everything, that one technique, that one line, that one thought leader, this is the guy that's going to change you, that's going to bring you the money, the happiness, the wealth, the partner, whatever it is, versus purposefully allowing and applying the wisdom that you're learning to gather momentum around your transformation. So there's frantically trying to find the magic bullet, and there's purposefully allowing the information. And what's interesting is a lot of people, very naturally, and I'm not calling anyone out for this, and like you'll hear in a minute, I did this all the time. A lot of people are quite frantic, and they come at personal development and they devour information, and they're just looking for that one thing. The issue is who's doing the doing, and what energy that you're bringing to that learning experience. So let me ask you a question. Who's going to be the more effective learner? Somebody that's coming at learning through scarcity, urgency, need, fear, and just give me an answer, just give me an answer. Or somebody that's coming at it from a place of, do you know what? I'm okay where I am. I accept where I am. I appreciate where I am. This is about me and expanding and growing my life and getting better results. Well, obviously the answer is the latter of those people. So here's my journey. By the way, if this is resonating with you and you're watching this, give me a 1 in the comments below, or an R. Actually, give me an R for resonates. We used a 1 already. Because I'd love to know who else, if you're sort of in that kind of self-learning, personal development world at the moment, and you're not getting the results you're looking for, is this starting to sort of prick your ears a little bit? Are you conscious that perhaps maybe you're not bringing the right energy and the right clarity and the right sense of allowing the wisdom? Then give me an R in the comments below. So look, let's go back a few years. I kicked off my whole journey with this stuff. And I don't say stuff to devalue it. I use it because that's how I speak. But I came in spiritual. Yeah, I came in from the spiritual side of things. So I started getting into energy and Reiki and the thought leaders and the coaches that were teaching and talking about that particular type of personal development. But I came into it in a place of, I was absolutely fine. I was just purely curious, and it fascinated me. And as a result, the results that I got were incredible. They were rapid, they were huge, they were exhilarating. But then something happened. Something really strange happened. As is typical, you go on this journey, you start to get connected and curious about other people. So I then shifted my focus to people like, let me think some names, Bob Proctor, Jim Rohn, the great Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, some of the more contemporary guys like Tony Robbins, Brendan Bouchard. I started then moving towards more traditional personal development. But my point of departure and my way into that learning changed, and the energy I brought to it changed. I started to notice that I was coming from a space of lack and need. I need more money. I want more money. I have to earn more money. I want more success. I need to grow. So I started to come at that whole teaching from a completely different place, and my results were completely different. The amount of effort I was putting in, the amount I read, the amount I applied, I couldn't get the results I was. And the reason is I was hitting 2 currents in the wrong way. Now, I learned an amazing tool by the wonderful, the genius that is Jason Goldberg. And if you're watching this, Jason, this is one of the most powerful tools that you teach. And it was all about, it's called competing commitments, that when we're trying to achieve something and we're kind of finding some resistance in some actions we need to take, there's usually a competing commitment there. So I kind of developed that myself, and I kind of talk about confluence. So confluence being the coming together of 2 rivers, of 2 currents. I'm a bit of a word geek, right? That's one of my favorite words. And sometimes, we have positive confluence where we come together and we go like this and things work. So we match the energies, okay? We match the spirit of growth and transformation and expansion. But sometimes we do the opposite, okay? So when we come to personal development, the energies of growth, transformation, expansion, results. But if we come at it like this, which is urgency and need and lack and scarcity and fear, you get negative confluence. The two energies don't match. And that's what was going on with me. And that's what I found is going on with a lot of other people. And when I've had the biggest breakthroughs for people that I'm working with, not just clients, but friends and family as well, it's getting them to understand that actually, if you can turn this upside down and you can match the energy of this with the energy of this, then you get to this. And everything starts to fall into place. And that resistance and that scarcity and that need is softened, and you start to see the results show up because you're not constantly scanning the horizon for evidence of growth, for evidence of return on effort. It becomes a process. And again, it comes back to that distinction, really important distinction. Am I frantically looking for a magic bullet of information that's going to fix all my problems, or am I coming this purposefully, allowing and applying the wisdom in a way that builds momentum for me? So look, how's this? I'd love to know if this is showing up in your life in any way, shape or form right now. If it is, give me a 2. And I want you to know that that's absolutely okay, because I'm going to give you a few tips now on some things that you can do to kind of change that around a little bit and start getting a little bit momentum with what you're learning and what you're trying to achieve. So if this is showing up in your life right now, then give me a 2. And it certainly is for me at the moment. I'm focusing a little bit on some certain specific parts of my business. And I was conscious the other day that I was being a little bit magic bullety about the whole thing. And I've since changed my posture, and I've just started to feel that shift. I've started to feel that information landing in a different way that's really starting to help me move forward. And the results speak for themselves. Ultimately, you know when it's working, it's binary. You're either seeing results and you're not. You're either feeling good or you're not. So what can you do? Hey, Atlee, wonderful. My spirit animal Atlee's online. How you doing, buddy? And this is showing up for him right now. Well, buddy, if you listen to this, this might help. Okay. So here are some things that you can do to try to turn that current around a bit and go from negative confluence into positive confluence. Okay. First and foremost, just notice. Okay, just notice and be aware of who's doing the learning. Okay. Now, if you a really good way to do that is to do a Google image of the emotional scale, download that JPEG. Anybody that's involved in personal development, whether you're a professional or whether you're just practicing it for yourself, should have immediate access to the emotional scale because it's fascinating. It shows you the accepted scale of emotions that we go on. And it's a very easy way of finding out where you sit at any given point in time, and also the steps that you need to go to move up that scale to where you want to be. Okay, it's really powerful. And you know, I'll pop the if I can, I'll pop my one in the comments after this. So use an emotional scale and just be honest. Before I go into doing this learning, where am I coming from? Am I coming from being a victim, out of scarcity, lack, need, fear? And be honest. And if you are, step back. Okay, step back and do some work to raising your vibration and raising your energy around who's doing the doing. And the simple way to do that is try and get to a level of just being accepting about where you are. One of the most powerful states you can be in is just being in total acceptance about where you are. Understand that where you are and the results you're getting don't need to define you. They're not who you are. And you can set the intention and choose that you're going to go up the emotional scale. You're not going to go down it. That is your God-given choice that you can exercise at any point in time. That doesn't mean you have to go from powerless to joy and enlightenment. No, but you can go from powerless to anger. And then you can go from anger to pessimism. And then you can go from pessimism to contentment. But with the emotional scale, you can actually figure out where you sit and how you need to move up. So number one, notice and be aware of who's doing the doing. If you're not bringing the right person to your training, step back and do some work around raising your energy and trying to find a level of acceptance. Okay, if you can find a level of appreciation, which you should be able to do, okay, that's even more powerful. And you can start by simply making a list of 3 things that are going right in this situation. There's always 3 things that are going right in any situation. And if you can write those down and reflect on those a little bit, you automatically start to change your posture. And finally, just checking on that distinction. If you feel like you're ready to go back into the learning, just check which lens am I coming through here? Am I still a bit frantic? Am I still looking for a magic bullet? Am I still in need? Or do you know what? Is this more purposeful now? Am I relaxed, calm, and appreciative? Yeah. And can I allow myself to absorb and apply this wisdom on my own terms? Because I promise you, the level and the speed of the results that you're going to get are going to be so much bigger and so much faster, which really is what everybody wants, right? Why are we doing personal work, right? We want to change, we want to transform, and we want to do it quickly. We don't want to feel overwhelmed, we don't want to feel disappointed, we don't want to keep chucking loads of money. Mate, trust me, I have spent, my wife isn't listening to this, I have spent so much money on personal development over the last 20 years, all right? And that's fine, okay? That's fine. I'm not calling myself out for that. I'm kind of proud of that because, to be honest with you, now that I've reached this point of doing this work professionally, all of that investment and all of that knowledge is suddenly being applied in a cohesive way to help other people, and that's fantastic. But we want change, and we want it quickly, and we want it efficiently. So look, that's it for me today. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed talking about this, actually, and I've really enjoyed talking about it from my snazzy new kitchen. As always, if this has resonated with you, please, give me some comments, ask me any questions that you want, drop me a DM if you want to get deeper into perhaps working on getting to a level of being accepting and finding appreciation of where you are, because the results that you get, the results that I want you to get, right, are going to be so much bigger and so much faster if you can get a hold of who's doing the learning and come from that place of empowerment, come from that place of being purposeful, okay, and intentional about your transformation and your personal development. That's it for me. I'm off to watch my daughter swim. I wish you all a very lovely Monday evening, and I'm going to be back on Wednesday with another live on something really cool, a bit more fun as well. This might have been a bit heavy, but hey, it's important. Love you all. Take care. See you all very, very soon. Bye now.